So it's the next morning. I slept until about 9:30. I wanted to be out by 10, but it's 9:59 now and I still have to take everything down. I'm not gonna have breakfast because that's not really a thing I do. So I'm just grabbing my stuff and I'm gonna go pack up everything. And then I guess we'll be on our way to Tombstone. So all I put in here was my food bag, my pot, my soap from my poop kit, and my spork. Okay, I'm all packed up, so I guess we continue. We're going up to Tombstone today, and it's already very hot. It's 10:33, so hopefully it doesn't take me 5 hours this time. Goodbye, Mount Romulus, and onward to Tombstone. Well, there's the sign for the equestrian campground. I think they have it better than we do, because look at this view. It's just mountains and mountains and mountains. I'm literally a single kilometer in and I already had to stop to take Advil because my calves hurt. I didn't even account for muscle pain. I was like, oh, you know, if my knees hurt, that's pretty normal. My ankle's fine, thankfully, but I wasn't accounting for my calves to hurt, but it makes sense considering yesterday. I've already had to take quite a few breaks, just little like side of the trail in the shade. I tried to get a weather forecast from the InReach, but I didn't realize that the basic one didn't have temperatures or anything. I want to know how hot it is because being in the sun feels like yesterday at 3 o'clock and it's only like 11 right now, so I'm mildly worried it's going to be like 36 or something today, which is scary, especially because there's not that many water sources. I think I'm going to make it to somewhere by the river and then sit for a little bit. And then I can chug a bunch of water and then refill my water bottle. And then that should be good for a little bit. I know the path, or according to the GPX thing, it weaves back and forth across the river. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but I'm following alongside the river. It's just way through the trees. So I'm not going to go hunt through the trees to find the river because I don't want to come across a bear or anything. So yeah, I'm going to keep going, but it is already very hot. So I'll update later, I guess. Well, I found the river, but it's way down there. So I guess I need to conserve my water. In about 2 kilometers or so, the trail intersects with the river, apparently. So I'm going to try and keep my about 3/4 of a liter around as long as I can for the next 2 kilometers. And then I'm going to take a break and drink a bunch of water and then filter a bunch of water, like I said. So there's a avalanche area no stopping sign. And I'm assuming that was from when this used to be an actual used road. You can see all the snow. We are entering avalanche area. So I'm just past the avalanche thing. And it looks like this used to be a rest stop or something. It's a very semicircle stuck on the side of the path. But also look at this. And the Elbow River is down there somewhere. I don't know where. This is quite a big drop. But very cool. And you can see Mount Romulus way behind me. We camped at the base of that yesterday. That's a few kilometers away. I think I'm almost at 3 kilometers already. Out of, I think, 9.5. So that's not that bad. Like, I'm already a third of the way there. But I know it's just going to get steeper. So I have a little hitchhiking moth, apparently. Sorry, little guy. I've made it to the other side of the avalanche area, and it looks like we have a nice big downhill, so maybe we will actually meet up with the river again. I really need water, so that would be ideal. I only have a half a bottle left, so half a liter. I'm a little bit worried that things are going to be dry. I should theoretically be coming up to that intersection with the river. The river is very close now. I can hear it much louder than I could before, but the trail's about to go back up again, so I don't know what the chances of it actually intersecting with the river are. I guess I'll see in half a kilometer. Well, there's the river. Way down there. I'm not climbing down this though. It's pretty steep. I'm not sure I'd be able to get back up. Well, this is where the Alba Loop Trail GPX says it's supposed to connect with the river. And it very much does not. So I am quite low on water. I might go up a little bit further and then take a break just to cool down and then continue. I'm at 4 kilometers, I think, so like almost halfway, because I think it's 9.5 kilometers today. So in a kilometer, well, in 0.75 of a kilometer, I will be halfway. So that's not that bad, but it's definitely dragging on. It's already 12:26, so it's been about 2 hours. So that means if it takes another 2 hours, but again, we're gonna go all uphill. I should be getting there somewhere between 2:30 and 3:30, hopefully, but I feel like I'm gonna be taking lots of breaks again this time, so we'll see. And I do need a nice long break. This looks like the perfect place to stop and have some food. Like I said, I'm gonna have some banana chips and then I'm gonna have some water. This is all the water I have left, so half a liter. Banana chips, very excited for that. And hopefully my stomach doesn't hurt this time. Again, I'm just stopped on the side of the trail. It's literally right here. So I'm still taking my break, but I discovered something on the inReach. So right here, so the red track is the downloaded track that I have. I think that other track might actually be the trail, like on Garmin's thing, which means that right here, the river intersects with the trail, and I am only right here, so I'm not that far away. So maybe I will be able to refill my water. I'm still gonna not drink the rest of it just in case, but that would be very, very nice. It's 12:50. I ate probably like, I don't know, half of the banana chips, which I think is pretty good. I took an Imodium so that I wouldn't be stopping to use the bathroom a bunch of times since I ate something. I have IBS, so it's never a one and done situation. It could be like 12 times in a day, but that's too much information. So I guess I will continue. I'm nice and cooled down now. I've been sitting in the shade the whole time. So yeah, let's go see if there's a water source up there. Really quickly before I leave, I'm gonna do some first aid. I've got a blister there. I've got a blister there. And then the blister from yesterday looks like it refilled. The thread fell out overnight, so I'm not sure where it went. It's probably in my quilt somewhere, but I need to deal with these. So I'm just going to probably just Leukotape them, I think that's okay. Well, it's a little sloppy, but it should work. I've got all 3 blisters covered, and then any other blisters should not be trying to form anywhere over here. And we're off. That was a nice long break, so hopefully I don't need to stop again for a little while. I'm so happy. I found the teeniest little trickle of a stream. And it, where is it? The pool is right here, just a little tiny, teeny tiny thing. Before it disappears, it doesn't come out the other side. So it must go all underground. Oh yeah, check out this view, by the way. But I am going to chug the rest of my water and then filter more water, so I guess I'm taking a second little break. Just because I don't know when the next water is going to be, so if I can make it 4 kilometers with 1 liter, hopefully I can make it another 4 with another single liter. Okay, so I filled up my water bottle, so I have a full liter, and then I also put an extra liter in the reservoir. So I'm carrying 2 liters right now, which is quite heavy. I adjusted my pack so it like really sits on my hips and it feels pretty good. But that is why I carry a 2 liter reservoir, like the 2 liter Evernew, with the 1 liter Smart Water bottle, so that if I need to, I can grab 3 liters. But I don't want to be like choosing not to drink water and then get dehydrated because I'm in full sun right now. I have 2 liters to play around with. I can drink a liter every 2.5 kilometers. I took another break. Look at this view though. And again, the trail's right there. I'm in the only shade on the side of the trail. I'm starting to not feel good again. And I think it's because of the heat again. I've walked 5.6 kilometers. So literally there's just like 3.9 kilometers left. Assuming it is 9.5 total. But yeah, I need to take another break because it is way too hot. I mean, like usually I can knock out 5 kilometers in an hour, right? Or almost. But it's gonna take me probably 2 or 3 hours. It's 1:48 right now. So my original theory was that I'd get to the campsite at about 2:30 or 3:30. I think it's gonna be closer to 4 or 5. And again, it's not really my fault. I just need to keep stopping because it's just so hot. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already 30 degrees. I should message my husband and see what he says. But like as soon as I'm in the shade, the vomiting feeling stops. But as soon as I get back onto the trail, and there's no shade on the trail at all, it's completely out in the open, the feeling comes back. So I don't know if I'm like starting to get heat stroke or something. Again, I've been drinking lots and lots of water, but like I'm still overheating. Like every time I sit down, I can already feel myself starting to fall asleep. So I don't know what that means either, but and I've seen 3 whole people on the trail so far. 2 mountain bikers going to Tombstone and 1 mountain biker going towards Mount Romulus, and that's literally all. It's just me out here by myself. I found the little elbow river again. I'm still fine on water. I've only had half a liter, so the inReach has 4.3 kilometers left. It goes up to 2,200 meters, and I'm at like 1,100 right now, so I still got to go up a little bit. But then it looks like it goes back down to 2,100, so there is temptation to just jump off the trail down there. Apparently it's only 26 degrees in Bragg Creek, which means it's probably about 26 degrees here as well. But the no shade, full sun, no clouds thing makes it seem really, really hot, and all uphill, of course. Look at this view. Oh, sorry, I'm almost to the point of shaking right now. Still not feeling good. You know what that mountain way off in the distance looks like? Kind of looks like a tombstone. Because I'm feeling sick, I don't really want to film or anything. But look at this view. So I found a map. We're right here. Tombstone's literally right there. So it was supposed to be 6.7 plus 4, so 10.7. And I think that's plus 1 to Tombstone. So 11.7. I'm not sure what we're at right now. But between today and yesterday, we've hiked from the trailhead all the way almost to the campsite. I've never been so happy to see anything in my life. I thought that I was happy to see the Mount Romulus sign yesterday. No, this was way better. I've been hiking for 6 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, a lot of that was taking breaks, but like, I'm so shaky. I'm so like, everything. My back hurts, my feet hurt. My knees are fine and my hip is fine today, and so is my ankle, but... Okay, so I'm officially at the campsite. I'm sitting at a picnic table right now because I am in the equestrian campsite, and I don't know where the hiker campsite is in relation to the equestrian. I don't know if I didn't just go down far enough, or the equestrian's like at the beginning of the campsites and then the hiker campsites at the end. I don't really know. So I'm so happy to be here. I'm so tired. I just want to kind of just want to go home actually, but I still have 2 more days after this, but that's okay. 2 more days plus probably staying an extra day in Calgary. On the last day, the plan is to get back to the car and then go paddleboarding on Forget-Me-Not Pond, which I think is going to be beautiful, especially with how hot it's been. But if I'm hiking out and then I'm paddle boarding and then set up and take down, I probably don't want to drive to Edmonton after that because that's like a 4-hour drive from here. I don't know, it's just too much. So I'm just going to try and get to Calgary and then sleep in the car. I did that on the way out as well, or the way in, I guess. I slept at a Walmart in Calgary, which was fine. I've done it before. I think I'm going to take site 2. It's not too far from the bathroom, it's not too far from the cooking area. And no one else is here, so I can take whatever I want. I touched my nose and it really hurts, so I think I burnt it pretty bad. Everything's quite red again, so 2 more days, that's all. I'm gonna sit for a bit and then I might put up my tent. I need to do that at some point, but I'm just like so over everything right now. So I'm sitting by the food area. As you can see, there's a big old nobody around me. Yeah, no one's in any of the sites. I haven't seen anyone since like this morning. So either people are gonna come in after me or I'm gonna be alone all night. I have all my smellables with me. Forgot my water filter though. It's over by the tent site. I didn't do everything yet, like set up my tent or anything. I wanted to sit and relax, so I'm gonna make some food. But I wanted to filter water as well. I still have this much left from what I had filtered, or not what I had filtered, from what I had gathered at that little creek stream thing a little while back. I've only drinking 2/3 of a liter since then, and it's been many kilometers. I don't know, water is making my stomach feel gross. The urge to vomit gets worse with water, but also it does the same thing with food. But I think now that I'm sitting down, it's gonna be a little bit less like gonna cause me more issues, I guess. But I need to turn you guys around because the view here is stunning. So of all the food I brought for today, I haven't opened any of it. The banana chips were from yesterday and that's all I had was the half a bag earlier. So I have all of this to eat theoretically. I am gonna have the ramen for sure, and I think I'm gonna start with the Builder's Bar because they're so good. I keep getting worried there's gonna be a bear behind me or something because I'm literally the only one here. We're in a valley of mountains and I'm eating food. So good. And my other bar for today was a Bobo's with chocolate almond butter. I completely forgot about that. I should have had that earlier maybe. But also I wasn't feeling well, so I find I don't eat that much when I'm backpacking. Usually I am quite a snacker, which I need to stop, but I digress. But when I'm backpacking, when I'm out doing activity, I don't want to do anything. Like I don't want to eat anything. So because there's no one else here, I'm not as scared, I guess, to film food and stuff. So anyways, we're gonna set up stuff. Pocket rocket, mini Bic, fuel. And this is the Toke 650 milliliter lightweight or ultralight or whatever, the lighter titanium pot. Just want to rinse it out. I don't know what it's collected between yesterday and today, so whoops. And I don't know how much to put in. I'm thinking like 350 milliliters. Oh, it might have to be 300. I don't have a lot of water left, and I still need to rinse off my lid because I also don't know where it's been. I mean, like it's been in my backpack, but you know what I mean. Either that, or I'm gonna have to go get my my filter. No, this should be enough. I think it'll be fine. There we go. It is going. You can't see the flames though because it's so windy. But I'm gonna put my water on. I've been trying to just use the pot for boiling water and then rehydrating stuff in bags so that it doesn't smell like anything. I mean, I put it in my I put it in the bear locker anyways, but just the option between the two, I prefer not to put this into my backpack smelling like food, I guess. I'll be its windshield. I'm actually quite cold, so the heat is welcome. So for dinner, spicy chicken Mr. Noodles. And then in my little bag here, I have some peanut butter powder, some dehydrated Gardein chicken strips, some dehydrated broccoli, some garlic, and then I have a little bottle of toasted sesame oil. Well, my water's all boiled, so that means that I can put the water in here. I think I'm gonna put this in a couple of minutes just because I don't want my noodles to be like super gross, I guess. Because I'm betting the chicken strips are gonna be the hardest to rehydrate. I'm gonna do this, squish it around a little bit, let it do its thing. And then, like I said, I'll put the noodles in a few minutes. Wow, look at how fast the broccoli rehydrated. It's gonna be the chicken pieces that are hard. It's been like, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, so I think I'm gonna put my noodles in. And you have to be really careful because I dumped these last year accidentally. Okay, I'm gonna lay it flat to hopefully let it do its thing. I only lost one noodle, but that's okay. My hands are far from clean, so I'm not gonna eat that. And I have a little itty bitty Nalgene that has just, I don't know, a teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. My chicken chunks are partially rehydrated. Some of them are soft, some of them are struggling a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, that smells so good. I am kind of hoping more people show up just because I'm a little bit nervous about sleeping out in the wilderness by myself. I don't know, it just feels better when there's more people around. Well, it smells like my normal peanut butter ramen. It looks good. Everything rehydrated pretty well. The sauce isn't too runny. So let's see what it tastes like, I guess. Oh, and I filter more water so I could wash off my spork. Tastes pretty good to me. Definitely got a little cold already, but that's okay. The chicken chunks are probably like 90% rehydrated, so not all the way there, but definitely most of the way. They're al dente chicken strips. Also, I put the solar panel out with the battery because there's lots of sun going that way. I just gonna let it do its thing. It was hanging off of my backpack all day, so there should have, like, attached to the power bank, so it should have quite a bit of charge anyways, but I see nothing wrong with trying to top it up. I used it to charge two camera batteries and then my phone yesterday. And then I just charged my phone again from about 10% to 84%. If I can recoup some of that, that would be ideal. It's only a 10,000 milliamp hour power bank, but it does fine. I thought about bringing the 20,000 and I had charged it and it didn't charge overnight. So that was for sure not happening. But this one does fine, and I think with the solar panel as well, as long as it's sunny like it is now, I can make back a lot of the power that I've used. It's still at 4 bars, like when I plug it in, there's the 3 bars and then the 4th one's flashing, so there's still more than 75% in there, or else it would be down to 2 bars with the 3rd one flashing. But it definitely has done well. This is the end of day 2, right? There's only there's only 2 more days left. Tomorrow is a full day, and then the day after is a partial day, and I can charge things from the car if I wanted to. And I charged my phone so much yesterday that I was able to watch a Disney movie before going to sleep. Oh yeah, really quickly though. I am sad that I didn't go to Tombstone Lakes. I don't think my body would have been able to do it. Quite honestly, I don't think it would happen. I wanted to take a time lapse of the sunset at Tombstone Lakes. And I know originally it had said or I had read online that it was only a 2-kilometer trip to the lakes and then 2 kilometers back, so 4 kilometers round trip. But I think instead I'm going to do a time lapse of the valley because that's beautiful. And it's by the campsite, so I don't need to go too far. But I think that will be just as sufficient. That just means that I need to come back to Tombstone, probably from the other side over the pass, different time, and hit up the lakes. Not a bad place to filter water, I'd say. Not a bad place to time lapse either. Also, look how crystal clear this is. The entire thing. It's just beautiful, and there's a bunch of little streams I can hear running all through these bushes. I was walking back from getting water, and I think there's 2 other people here. I don't know when they came in, but they did. I just set up a time lapse on the camera pretty much with this shot exactly. It's gonna be beautiful. So the tent is all set up again. You've seen that in the last video. Looks pretty good, but what I want to show you is what's behind the tent. Again, this is site 2. So I get to listen to the sound of water all night. I can refill my water literally whenever. Also, as you can see, it's starting to get quite dark now. But I think it's mostly because I'm in the shadow of a mountain. It's 8:44 right now. I am going to probably get changed into my base layers and then kind of stay in my tent, take an Imodium so that I don't have to get up to go to the bathroom. Especially because there's a trail right behind here into the creek. I'm assuming it's a person trail and not an animal trail, but it very well could be an animal trail. Site 3 is right beside me as well. And then on the other side, just through the trees, right here, this is site 1. I liked site 2 because it was a little bit back from the trail in, which is right there. It's good enough for me. So I took a look at my feet. Looks like there's a blister right along this line. And then the other foot, the one that I leucotaped earlier, it does not look good. So we have this giant guy right here, which is super gross. And then we have this guy right there. And then under here, there's also a blister, but he's okay. Oh, and apparently there's a guy right here too. So it looks like I'm popping a lot of blisters and letting them dry out overnight. I'm not sure why, but the leukotape ended up sticky for some reason. I'm assuming it's because I was walking through water, but usually leukotape doesn't stick in water, so I'm not really sure. Or if it was just like reactivating because of sweat the whole time, but I mean, I don't know, I've hiked in leukotape a lot, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Everything's been drained and re-leucotaped. It looks pretty rough, but if it works, it works. It just has to last a day and a half. Also, yes, I'm definitely quite sunburned. Like this hurts to touch. Right along here hurts to touch on both sides. Oh, yep, that's good. Other side too. Oh, I wonder what my back looks like. I don't know if you can see anything, but I'll have to rewatch this video and see what it looks like. So this is probably super gross, but you can see my boob sweat line. Ew. Okay, let's do our nightly little debrief on what happened today. I knew that Tombstone was gonna be hard, and honestly the hills weren't even that big or anything. The biggest thing I had issues with is that it was so dang hot and sunny and no shade. Very, very open. Nowhere to escape the heat, nowhere to escape the sun. In terms of like, would I be able to hike it again? For sure. But I'd want to try it when it's cooler probably. Like there were some places where I wanted to hang around a little bit, but I just wanted to go. Because, like I said, I think the heat was making me feel like I was going to vomit. I think that was because of the heat. Could even be because of my sunburn. I know that happens sometimes. I'd categorize it as rough, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was bad. Like I get why the elbow loop is one of the easiest loops in the Rockies, right? Because it's a good introduction to multi-day hiking, but there's still some hard parts. And like I said, I think if I did it in like theoretically September, very last minute just before the snow falls kind of thing, it would be a lot more manageable. I'd still need to take lots of breaks and stuff, but it wouldn't be like me going from one shady tree and then going as fast as I can to the next shady tree and then stopping for 10 minutes. There was no wind until later. There was actually quite a bit of wind. And then it got too cold, but that was when I was already at a campsite. But when I was hiking and exposed, there was no wind, there were no clouds. It was just full sun directly above me out in the open. the entire day. I think it would have been neat to mountain bike it. This is a very normal mountain biking route. People do it all in one day, which I think is insane, but I mean, theoretically on a mountain bike you're going like 3 or 4 times as fast as a hiker would be. So all of a sudden 5 hours is like an hour between campsites. Like that's not too bad, or a couple of hours. And even though I left at 10:30 this morning, I was still in the heat right up until 4:30 when I got here. Another thing, I'm learning that when I get too hot, I don't want to eat anything, and that's not good either, because obviously I need fuel for my body. Not that I don't have like enough fuel on my body itself, but like I need to be eating stuff probably to keep salts up, because that might also be the reason why I haven't been feeling well, because I've been drinking so much water, 3-4 liters. If it's just that paired with half a Lenny and Larry's or half a bag of banana chips or whatever, I don't think that's enough. Well, I can tell you right now it's not enough, but I mean, like, I don't really want to eat anything else. I'm almost wondering if I should do like gels, because then at least it's like a quick boost of energy without like it being too sizable. Because I know with the Lenny's and Larry's cookie, that's an entire meal, right? It's like 420 calories or something. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like, you know, that'll be my lunch. And then I can have banana chips with it. And then I literally wanted to eat half the thing, so I hiked all day yesterday on like 210 calories. And then today, I'm not sure how calorically dense half a bag of banana chips is, but to hike however many kilometers on half a bag of banana chips, it wasn't good. Let's also look at some stats for today. I have walked 10,543 steps. That's not accurate, by the way. I noticed that the Garmin doesn't count them very often at all, but I use the trekking poles. I don't think it can find the individual steps. I burnt 2,668 calories total, and then my active calories, so the things I burned while hiking, was 1,096. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, because that means that I only burned 100 calories per kilometer. Is that normal? Maybe that is normal. Let's check on the InReach how much distance I did. Okay, so the InReach stats. Trip time, so total time. Oh yeah, I accidentally forgot to pause it. I paused it while I was eating, so it's a little bit skewed. But total time that it had tracked for is 7 hours, 59 minutes, and 13 seconds. It says my time moving was only 3 hours, 7 minutes, and 39 seconds, which I don't think is correct. It says my moving average is 4.3 kilometers, and then my trip distance is 13 kilometers on the dot. So it was supposed to be 6.7 kilometers between Mount Romulus and the fork for Tombstone Lakes and Tombstone Campground. And then the fork itself was 4 kilometers, so that's 10.7. And then Tombstone, like the campground, is supposed to be another 1. So it should be 11.7. For some reason I had it in my head that it was like 9.5, but apparently that's not correct at all. And then tomorrow, I have to hike back, not to the big fork, but to where the campsite splits from the trail, which isn't that far, it's literally just up a hill. And then it is 11.2 kilometers, all downhill, which is going to be hard on the ankles and knees and stuff. At least it's downhill. But 11.2 kilometers between Tombstone and Big Elbow. And that's where I'm staying tomorrow. And then the following day, it's 4.4 from Big Elbow to the trail to 3 Point Mountain. There's a fork there. And then I continue 3.9 back to the parking lot. So 4.4 plus 3.9 is 8.3. So that's not going to be too bad. And again, it's downhill. I remember when I did Mount Romulus last year, the being downhill was much better. Like Mount Romulus last year, again, I walked faster. I made it in 4 hours. But it was also thunderstorming when I went last year, so it wasn't hot or anything. It was nice and cool. But I remember when I went back the next morning, like back to the parking lot, it was so easy. It was mostly downhill at that point because Mount Romulus is uphill. So I think I had cut off like an hour and a half versus my previous time or something, or an hour. I don't know. It just went by way, way, way faster. The 11.2 kilometers, so right around 11, is less than the parking lot to Mount Romulus, as we learned from yesterday, right? Maybe I can get it done in just a few hours and then relax. I think I'm still going to try and wake up early-ish. This morning, I didn't sleep well. I had put earplugs in, and my logic was that I didn't want to hear anything outside the tent because I'd be like hyper aware all night. But then I think because I couldn't hear anything, I was hyper aware anyways. So I think I'm gonna go without the earplugs tonight, because I mean, you can hear the water rushing right beside me, right? So that should drown out most of any noise that would kind of worry me. And then I kept wanting to flip over onto my side, and if I flip over onto my side like this, I can see underneath the fly, and that freaks me out. I don't want to see underneath the fly. I don't want to, see if there's something staring back at me or staring back at my tent. I don't want that. I want to be completely ignorant. But then eventually, I think at about 3:30, I did flip to that side because the sun was starting to come up, and I slept fine for a little while. And then I woke up at like, I think 5:30 or 4:30, and then I woke up at 6:30, and then like 7:58 or something, and then I took my earplugs out, and then I slept from 7:58 right until 9:30, versus earlier where I was sleeping like much more scattered. So I think the earplugs my body doesn't like it. I need to train myself to like them. And I used to sleep with them sometimes because of noisy roommates, but I think I need to get used to them again. I haven't used earplugs in a while. My ankle's okay. My hip is totally fine. I think taking that Advil this morning really helped. And my back is okay. I had stretched it and cracked it, and that really helped. And just being able to hang around at the campsite for hours and hours was nice. Just doing nothing. It was actually kind of nice that there was no one else here until when I went to go get water. Just because I could do whatever I want, I guess. I'm not mad that someone's staying here overnight though. And they have 2 dogs with them, so if there's a bear or something, the dogs will for sure bark. The dogs were barking at me, so they're definitely going to be good watchdogs overnight. I think it's scarier when you're by yourself, just because you don't know. At the same time, again, I don't want to know. I think that's about all. I've been talking for a little while. I'm going to have to cut this way down, but I think that's it. That's all for right now.